thank you quilt that I've made for Alfie's nursery, because it's his last week next week. I've done an I Spy quilt, and I just thought that this collection was perfect for it. It's by Jenny Maisels, and it's just called Colour Collection, through Lewis and Irene. And you've got the colours of the rainbow and all items related to that colour. And for an I Spy quilt, if you've not heard of it before, it's just a nice interactive way of using fabric. So you'd say, I'm thinking of something green, and then the children can ask questions like, is it alive, does it have ears, and try and guess which picture that you were looking at on the quilt. But when I showed it to Alfie, the first thing he said is he found the lion, and he went, it matches. So I think kids just create their own games of these things as well. I thought it would be a good colour finder, put it on the floor and allocate each kid a colour and get them to fill the squares with things they found around the room. Loads of ideas. Or you just den building, just quilts are fun, aren't they? So this is my gift to the nursery to say thank you. I've backed it with the same collection, but with the letters, which I thought again for nursery was great. Whenever Alfie sees a capital A, he goes, that's my name. So I think it's nice for kids, they start to recognise the first letter of their name as well in capitals, even if they are fancy fonts. And I have used a quilt label from Figo Fabrics. It was a quilt panel, and I cut into it every time I make a special quilt, and I add a special label to it. So I've hand stitched this on, and I've just used a permanent fabric marker to write on it because I knew I wasn't going to have time to hand stitch it all. So I thought I'll just show you the quilt, why I've made it, and really briefly how I put it together. As you can see, it is all just equal squares, and I cut them out at 8 inches. So I've got an example here, literally just 8-inch squares, and I did corresponding solids as well. So these are the organic solids that I've got from Craft Cotton Company. They're gorgeous quality. I use them all the time. I've now got, I don't know, about 25-30 different colours to choose from. But the colours of the rainbow are all there. There are some that I've only got once and some that I've got twice. Can't remember which one now. Yeah, the blue, just because of the way the numbers worked out. But I thought that it was just nice to have all of them. There's at least one of each colour. I thought about making it bigger so that there was more, but you know what, when it came together as a square, I was like, you know, that's all it needs. I'll just make it square. Because I cut straight off the bolt, I just cut 8 inches, but obviously that's shorter than a long quarter, so you only need such a small amount of fabric. I use less than half of a long quarter to create this, so I'm tempted to make another one for Alfie and to keep here and to put on display for pop-up shops and just show off the fabrics as well. So yes, they all look so beautiful together. But you know what, having a stash of these solid colours is really helpful anyway, because you just eat into them for different projects. So do have a look at my organic range. And if you do want to make this I Spy quilt, I do highly recommend using this Jenny Maisels collection. But it's also a really nice way of using up your scraps. So if you've got lots of different fun children's fabrics, you could fussy cut and maybe make them smaller, and create a similar idea, but with what you've got in your stash as well. So they were just simple squares, 5 by 5. I decided to use diagonal quilting in just white thread because I didn't have, well, I did have plenty of wadding, but I've got loads of scrap bits of wadding, and I use interfacing like tape to tape them together when I'm making quilts like this. So I thought I'd better do the quilting quite close together, just because of the way I put the wadding together. But they're 8 inches, so 7.5 by the time they're sewn in, so you could just stitch in the ditch or either side of the ditch if you wanted to as well. The other thing I'm going to show you is the back. Although I've just pegged it up, I have done another option for hanging, and that was just adding a triangle to the back. So you could run a stick along the back and then hang it that way, and that's going to keep it straight. And that was just a little bit that was left over from the backing. It also makes it nice to hold it like this. Yeah, just literally a square, folded in half and then sewn into the corner. It's a really good thing to add to your quilts if there is the potential of it being hung. And I thought about the binding for a while, and I know I haven't used navy in the quilt, but I just think it frames it really nicely, and I thought navy rather than black because it's just a bit softer. So this is my I Spy quilt. I'd love to know what you think, if it's inspired you to create your own version, and I have put the details of the fabric and the measurements and everything that you need in the details below. So the full blog is on my website. Thank you for watching.